you have been on the board and now you're serving as a director. Do you still have a board position, or do you serve at the behest of the board now?
I serve at the behest of the board. And most nonprofits that I've been part of, the executive director is an ex officio member of the board with influence, no vote, and that's fairly typical.
When you think of an ideal board or a really strong board to stand behind an organization, because obviously your organization is having some really good success, what qualities that are needed in a board that's really going to help drive a success of a mission of a nonprofit?
One of the things that we do that I've done in leadership for a long time and brought into Serve Wenatchee is I'm not sure if you're familiar with Clifton's Strengths Finder
Yes,
survey,
absolutely.
and that what I did years ago was I quarantined off the if you're an executing theme or a strategic theme or influencing or a relational theme, then each board member, you put their gifts in there, and I think the strength of a board is found in its diversity. And so if you have a board full of people that get a lot done, they're very heavy in the executing theme, but they have no relational connection whatsoever. You get a lot done, but you don't like each other very much. Or the opposite could be true, where you've got a board made up of individuals highly in that relational theme, which you just love on each other all the time, but you don't get anything done. And so we are constantly, when we have new board positions open, it's a requirement to apply to the board to fill out a Clifton Strength Finder and find out where your giftings are, and then we evaluate that and how that matches up with our needs as an organization. And so it's not necessarily a single type of person as much as it is how they fit with the whole, because the way that nonprofit boards work is the board speaks with one voice. The board doesn't speak with 10 voices or 9 voices. It speaks as one voice. Now, each person in the decision making has a voice to bring into that decision, but once a decision is made, whether it's a 6-5 decision, or a 7-4 or an 11-0, the board has spoken, and everybody comes alongside and coalesces around that decision and figures out the way to move forward. And so the other thing that I think is really valuable is I want to have the other thing diversity wise I look for community members that don't have a lot of connection to Serve Wenatchee. I look at community members that have a connection. They either volunteered or been a part of it. And I also look for board members that may have been served by the services of Serve Wenatchee at some time in their life. And that gives you a perspective. You've got an outsider's perspective that comes in and can give you that. You need to look, see yourself through an outsider's perspective sometimes, which is helpful. You need to see yourselves for who you are from an insider, but you also need to understand uh, f- from a client perspective how these services matched up and how we can improve. And I think those things are really helpful.
Is You mentioned 11? Is there 11 members on your board?
There's 10.
There's 10. Okay.
Yeah, which
Um,
which typically you like an odd number.